I sincerely hope there's one person that gives a about what you're talking about right now. Otherwise, you're just wasting everybody's time. Cody? I can't tell if he's sunburnt or crying right now.
That was so powerful.
Yeah.
You were like,
I felt it too. I was like, Welcome to another episode of Volume 1, the anime and manga podcast where we review the first volume of a brand new manga each week. My name is Josh Beach Bum Michaels.
I'm Mehgan. Beach floaty preen.
Okay. Yeah, you are.
Cody Decker.
Terrible name.
Cody
Thank you guys.
Ducky Decker.
Cody hitting them waves, Decker.
Cody Fresh Gnar Decker.
Cody shredding the gnar, Decker.
Fresh Gnar?
Today, if you can't tell, is a beach-themed introduction because we're recording this episode later in the day because we went to the beach today. We had a Volume 1 beach day.
Oh, yeah.
And it was a hoot, to say the least.
And they changed before this started.
Oh, yeah.
Because they went to one house and then we're at someone else's house.
You had the option to change.
To put on Josh's shirt.
Yeah, and he literally would give you the
What a
clothes
good
off
friend.
his back.
Wow.
And you refused it.
I don't want
You said you want to take a shower. I'm trying to accommodate you. I know it's been a long day. I know we have a podcast to record. I'm trying to be like a friend here. And you were like, I don't want to wear your disgusting clothes.
I don't want to wear your shirts.
Disgusting.
Which is fucking...
no, Cobra Kai.
Which is fucking rude. But anyway...
what shirt size are you?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, all right. No, because
I've had many stages. My body weight fluctuates.
Yeah, he
what
could have picked
shirt
something out of the
size?
I have
are you?
small. I have medium, and I have large.
What shirt size are you?
Right now? Large, and I'm not very fucking happy about it.
Okay, I'm a size small, so
I got smalls.
Cody's small.
I'm a boy's medium. To be perfectly honest with you.
Should have gave you some of my shirts. Am I right?
Yeah, should have gave you some of Megan's. And Megan's
Some
roasting Cody,
doll
but she did
shirts.
come dressed like a Chick-fil-A cashier today.
My pleasure.
My pleasure. Thank you for serving.
Don't sue me.
Thank you for coming in. I hope you're going to church or whatever they say at Chick-fil-A.
Saturday.
It's Saturday. We're open. Tomorrow we're closed.
Mm-hmm.
That's our whole thing.
Yeah, that's all we do.
That's all we do here.
But yeah, we had a beach day. We had a lot of fun. We do want to talk about some of that later, but we do because we did have a lot of just interesting interactions throughout the day. But we also are here to review a manga, and
As you guys know.
as you guys know, and that manga today is a listener recommendation.
Yeah.
Dungeon Meshi.
A listener who will go unnamed, but they are an old rival of mine. An old
rival.
foe who has thwarted my attempt at watching an anime.
Oh. Foe.
So
Yeah, I mean,
and I have been assigned this as my penalty, as my penance.
he's the hero. I think
He's my old foe.
he's the hero of our
The
story.
eternal foe
No.
of a third of Volume 1.
He's always got great recommendations, at least for me and Megan.
That's irrelevant. He's my old foe.
Okay, well, Cody's old
Wow.
foe.
So he's your old foe, not your current foe.
Well, yeah, we're cool now.
Okay, cool. Yeah, let's just clear that up.
Hurts my heart to hear you say that, but I mean,
I
I
know.
guess he's your old foe,
And he'll know.
and he'll know.
He'll
He'll know who he is because that's the whole reason we're
And
doing
I don't,
this.
I don't really feel the same way.
Yeah,
But-
I don't either.
Yeah, and I just want to
But-
put that on wax. You know,
What? Not camera.
no, wax.
audio. Okay.
But yeah, so it's Dungeon Meshi or Delicious in Dungeon.
Mhm.
Delicious in Dungeon, Food Dungeon.
Food Dungeon.
There's
I thought
a
I
couple.
saw it just being called Delicious Dungeon too, or
I
Dungeon
like Delicious Dungeon Delicious.
Mhm.
I guess it would Meshi is probably
Dungeon.
yeah, it's Dungeon. It's
Yeah.
Oh,
delicious.
yeah, because dungeon is English, but Meshi isn't.
Oh yeah, so it's not Dungeon. It's
Isn't Oishi?
I have no
Delicious?
idea. I have no clue.
Dungeon.
You don't have.
I'm-
You're not a weeb.
I barely speak English.
You're not
Okay.
a seasoned veteran.
I'm sorry, I don't have my otaku card.
Oyasumi. Oishi. Nani.
Think you've been hanging around a little too many maid cafes, Mehgan.
The list goes on.
Yeah. But
I will say that.
But for simps like me and Cody,
That doesn't even make any sense.
who don't
Group him in with you.
Oh, wow. You know, a lot of this beach energy has you guys pitted against me right now.
That's not true at all. Okay.
But
we were just having a good time while you were setting up, and you got a little.
Which took
you
about
got
an
upset
hour
that you
and a
weren't
half.
included. I think.
I
Now
didn't
that
get
you're
upset that I wasn't included.
Okay.
Okay. I was just trying to make sure everything got set up so we could get the ball rolling because we have
The
a
ball's
job
rolled.
to do. It's been rolled.
It's fucking down the
been
court.
rolling
The
all
pins
day.
are hit. Okay. I'm getting the ball. I'm getting the ball back in the bowling. I'm getting it back. I'm cleaning it before I throw it again.
I don't think you've ever been
Drying your
bowling.
hands
I
on
have
the thing.
definitely been bowling,
Mm.
and I could tell you this: I'm good at bowling once I'm an hour in.
You know what? That's an honest answer.
You need practice.
You need to warm. You always need to remember how to bowl.
Of course. The first couple throws are shit.
Yeah, I get that. I'm actually pretty good at the first hour, and then I deteriorate after that hour.
Oh, see,
Yeah.
that's. I feel like it's better to get better than to get worse.
Yeah, I wonder if that trait carries over to other aspects of my life. Anyway, Cody, it's your week to review this manga, Dungeon Meshi, also known as Food Dungeon, Delicious in Dungeon. And so hit us with the synopsis of your choosing. I know you like to give us your own synopsis.
So it's a dungeon adventure that people trying to find a golden city, and the main character's team gets wiped and they get teleported out while fighting a dragon, but his sister gets eaten by a dragon and is in its stomach being slowly digested. So he has to go down there and try to go back to her. And his plan to save money and time is to just eat the monsters instead of buying food supplies.
Right. Yeah, because they were stranded. It seems like they had some spell that was cast.
I think, the sister cast the spell, but then because dragons are magical or something, it she couldn't get taken with it when she got eaten.
Right.
So they all got taken out, and then most of his party was we're not doing that again.
Yeah. And their gear got left behind.
Yeah.
All their stuff got left behind. Yeah. And I looked up reviews on this manga because I always want to see if it's a manga that I want to own a physical copy of. I like to see what they look like. And this one,
Yeah, of course.
yeah. Yeah, I don't know what else you would I don't know what else you would get from that.
You're just reading, and you're like, I'll see if I like it.
I
See if I can see it.
I don't want to read physical copies of manga. I just want to see what they look like. But this one looks beautiful. It looks like a D&D kind of book, and it looks like it has some just cover over it that has this really beautiful, just burgundy color. I mean, I almost bought the manga straight off of appearances.
Whoa.
Because it was beautiful. But alas, I didn't. But I only read one chapter. How many chapters did you read, Mehgan?
I read 2 chapters.
Okay.
Yeah. Chapter 1 was a bit lengthy.
Very lengthy.
Yeah. It was very long. It was very long. I was because I looked it up and I was like, how many chapters are in one? I was midway through chapter 1. How many chapters are in the volume? And then I look it up and it's 192 pages. Fine. But the first chapter is every other chapter is 25 pages.
Really? I should have kept reading then because the first chapter was way too long. I was reading it on the beach. That's what I was reading when we went to the beach. I couldn't get through it. I tried to read it last night and it just never stopped.
Oh, you tried to read it last night?
Okay. I had a busy night last night.
I was just kidding.
Another reason for you to get a mattress instead of a couch, one might say.
2 might say.
2 might say. Yeah.
Everyone.
3 might say
Oh,
now.
yeah,
Oh,
it's 3.
three. Get from that what you will.
No, the
listeners.
2 said, and then he said, nah, and then the other one said, and he goes,
No, I went, maybe. I didn't go.
which means,
I didn't go like that,
Not yet.
because I don't have a bed. I sleep on a couch. Anyway, Cody, you read the entire volume. What are your general thoughts about this manga?
It's a very comfy series. I would call it comfort food.
Whoa, dude.
comfort foodie.
That's great.
It's very comfy. I like the art style is cute, but like it's not overly cute. It's just like the characters just look nice. The female design isn't over sexualized. It's just like they just wear normal armor, and it's there's no like romance even. It's just him wanting to go back and get his sister, but they also establish that like dragons take a while to digest their food, so they're not really like on that big of a time crunch. So it also justifies them like, let's go over here for a bit.
Yeah.
Without me being like, what are your sisters being eaten alive?
Yeah, they did have a moment when they first were cast outside of the dungeon, and they're like, oh, we got to sell all of our equipment to get shittier equipment so that we can hire new recruits to go into this dungeon. And they're like, but in the meantime, we should find a place to eat. And he's like, whoa, your sister's being eaten by a dragon right now. But yeah, it is like a playful way for them to take longer, to take their time.
And the series does establish like the first thing is like the reason they lost was they were so hungry that they,
Yeah.
you're hungry, you're sluggish, you're slower. So they're like, well, the most important thing is to, have a full stomach, which is an important thing.
Yeah, we learned that lesson today. Yeah. I thought it was super cute too. Something about the art style of this manga seemed very clean, and it reminded me of Spy X Family for some reason. The art styles are completely, I think, different, but there's something about them that is very similar. Did you get that vibe at all?
I agree. It was very, like Cody said, it's cutesy, but not too cutesy.
And clean.
And it is very clean, and I think it adds to the comedy aspect a lot, but everything else is so detailed. All the monsters are very detailed. All the food dishes that they explained are very delicious looking, and it like puts you into the world like very easily. Like I 100% was just like, okay, I'm in. Like I was sold from the couple pages on, and I think that's like great.
Yeah, the what I found is like half of each chapter is them like dealing with a monster, and then the second half is them turning it into a meal. Then I'm like, yeah, I'd eat that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What and then like other characters are like, oh, I don't know about this, and like, okay, well, what do you want to eat? And they're like, they go out to hunt specifically food for them.
Yeah, I got to see them cook one meal in the first chapter, and there was one character who was against it all. But the things that they do cook, it almost seems like they are giving you a recipe for how to make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's great. It gives you all the little pinpoints. And I even wrote down the like the minerals, fat, vitamins, protein, and they show you how much of each is in the meal, which is really cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah. It's all super detailed, everything.
Yeah, they give you like nutrition guides on stuff like, you need fat, you need carbs, and like if you only eat meat, you're gonna slowly die of malnutrition.
Yeah, and I think that some of these fantasy creatures that they're cooking, which by the way is also like a super interesting take on the fantasy genre of the dungeon story, is they're not slaying dragons, they're trying to cook them and eat them. But I feel like, do you think that they're exchanging certain fantasy animals for real animals? Do you feel like maybe the recipe they made in chapter 1 with the scorpion and the slime could be substituted with real food?
Yeah, because whenever a character comes up and like they all have a discussion like, oh, I don't know about eating this, and they go like, well, that's pretty much just a chicken, and they're like, oh, we're gonna cook this basilisk like a chicken, and then we're gonna pluck the feathers, and they're like, oh, it's just a giant chicken now that we've got it all prepped. And then, I don't know what you can do with like they have medicinal herbs, but in my mind, that's just like parsley and basil.
Weed.
Yeah.
Okay. Dragon's not the only one blowing smoke in my...
What is it, Congress?
Cody's auditioning for his job on The Daily Show later today. Yeah, it's are you a good cook, by the way? I feel like you're not, because Cody, after listeners don't know and viewers don't know.
You need to give him time to answer. He goes, are you a good cook? I feel like you're not.
Well, no, because we've ate his food before.
We have ate his food before.
What did you eat?
We didn't eat your food, but we took your instructions on how to cook pho after a podcast one time. And you had no idea.
What, you don't remember?
Okay. That was the first time I made that, though.
Yeah, to be fair.
You
make it now, though. You make it now? You've made it before again?
I made it
so
afterwards.
It's good.
Yeah. I just messed up and I didn't listen to what you guys were saying.
And we were adamant.
And that's not my...
We were adamant. We were very adamant.
You can't blame me for not taking your advice.
We can't.
And moving on. Not moving...
I mean, I can't blame you for not taking my advice.
No.
What about you, Josh?
Am I a good cook?
You're probably shit.
Okay.
You're probably shit.
Okay. Yeah, Gordon fucking
No, that
Ramsay
was
up here.
Scottish. Yeah, that was weird.
I'm okay. I'm middle of the road. Middle of the road.
So-
I wish I could have cooked more when I was younger, but you know.
I used to cook all the time when I was a kid, but then once I like moved out, like it's like, oh,
What,
I can
Play-Doh?
just drink liquid food.
Yeah.
But I don't know, I used to make fried rice all the time, which I got back into, which I found sesame oil that's the key to good fried rice.
You were telling me that.
Yeah.
And that sounds amazing. Even some sesame seeds in there too.
Yes, yeah. You top off each bowl of rice that you make with some sesame seeds,
Wow.
a little bit of soy sauce.
Yum.
That sounds good. Yeah, I wish I could have cooked more. I mean, I was really interested in cooking at a point, but my stepmom wouldn't let me use the kitchen. So,
Megan?
she said,
What'd she say?
no whites allowed.
Egg whites.
Egg
No
whites.
egg whites allowed. You only wanted to make things.
And I said, but I'm
with
half
egg whites.
I'm half white. And and she just went and then she spit on me.
Spit in your mouth.
I'm half white. I still got some yolk in me.
Yeah, I still got some of that yolk in me. I still got some of that dark meat in me, that brown meat in me.
Don't ask me. Moving on. Let's.
Are you not a good cook?
I don't know how to cook shit.
I believe that.
I really. Okay. Why do you believe that?
You broke a knife. I mean, that's an indication.
Okay.
That is true. That is
Okay,
true. Also,
buy
you
better
put
knives.
you
You're
put
right.
watermelon sour patches
And I bought
into
it. And okay, that was envisionary.
into a White Claw.
Okay. You're saying nothing wrong here. You're
I
saying,
mean-
and I put grapes in it too.
You put them in my drink, and I was like, I didn't want that. I just wanted to eat grapes.
Did I?
Yeah.
Seems like a
I
Mehgan
went,
thing to
"Look."
do.
I, was
I
like,
did totally.
Yeah.
But I broke that knife. I replaced it, so
You
I'm
did.
not a total villain like you're making me out
No.
to be. This superhuman strength.
Yeah, we all know your reputation as being superhumanly strong.
Yeah, of course. I'm not a good cook. I can cook an omelet. I can cook eggs in a basket, which is just bread with the circle in the middle, and then I can basically cook. I'm an egg gal. Okay,
Yeah.
I can
You
give
can
you eggs
basically cook one thing 4 different ways.
all day. I can make noodles, top ramen.
Not food, but okay.
Well, stoner ramen, that requires skill.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think any of that stuff counts as food except for the eggs.
My
Nah,
bread
ramen
and
is
butter
food.
before I found out about liquid food was I would just eat potatoes all the time. And you just cook those up into like little triangles.
Yeah.
You fry it, and then what you season it with, they like steak seasoning, like the corn and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
And that makes some really good potatoes. And I was living off that for a couple months.
Yeah, the potato diet is a very popular
Yeah,
diet.
my dad saw me doing that. He's like, you could just eat those raw, because
Potatoes?
yeah, which I found out that's what my dad did when he was my age. Is he was just like, yeah, I would just come home, I would just skin a potato and I eat it. I was like,
And you're like,
Have you
wow,
ever had a
I
raw
get-
potato?
no,
I get why
You've
you
never
beat me.
tried a raw potato?
Yeah.
no.
They're exactly what you think. It
Oh,
would
raw
be.
potato?
Yeah, no, it's exactly
Just
like picture a
awful.
raw potato, and then take a chomp out of it. It's exactly what you think
I
it
can
would be.
I can taste
Very
it.
starchy,
It's very starchy. It's
slimy.
all of the above.
Super crunchy.
All of the
yeah.
above. It's like a worse radish.
Yeah, that's why when people tell you, "Oh, eat garlic raw," I'm like, "No,
I like garlic.
raw." Okay, moving on.
I like strong taste.
Yeah.
I like fry up some garlic and just eat it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
different than taking a fucking bite out of a raw piece of garlic.
Or like onion. People. I like raw onion.
Raw onion's okay, I guess.
I mean, yeah, it's good. You can put it on your food, so it's not like you don't have to cook
Yeah,
it.
but biting anything that's like not cooked, I get like biting garlic, biting an onion, like people. That's like savage shit. You
Yeah,
know?
I knew a guy. He used to eat lemons.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
so is that guy killing people now?
Yeah.
He joined the army, so yes, but
Wow.
but like he didn't even like peel it. He would just bite into a lemon like it was an apple.
Oh, that was a scare tactic.
It's crazy. Like it's,
Yeah, that's what they would do to
Yeah.
whenever they got corn, is just eat a
That's
lemon.
a
and
power
go.
move.
it's crazy. We abuse ourselves sometimes.
We live in a society.
So we live in a society. Oh yeah, I wore so much sunscreen today. I look like the fucking Joker. But
Oh yeah.
we did film when we went to the beach too, by the way. And so maybe expect a volume 1 beach vlog.
Beach episode.
Beach episode.
Yeah.
So, what were your impressions on it?
You go first, Megan.
like I said, I mean, like, I really like the art. It stood out to me immediately. The timing of the jokes from what I read, because you read the whole first volume. There was that one moment with the elf and
the reactions.
The reactions are very funny, spot on. The main character is just so nonchalant about his sister being in the belly of a dragon. Even when she got eaten up, he was like, well, I guess, and it's hilarious.
Yeah.
And all of them, I love the chemistry between the characters already. I love the guy that's been added. I don't know if you got to that point.
No.
I got to the dwarf.
Yeah, the dwarf.
Okay.
Yeah, he was added to the team, and he's great. And he is a way to like just teach them how to cook everything and teach them the ways of cooking fucking monsters. And like, there's so many different ones, which is kind of exciting because I'm like, what are they gonna run into next and eat? So I really liked it. I enjoyed reading until the chapter 2 because I knew chapter 1 was like super fucking long, and I was
it was
like,
a slog, man.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a great 2-episode plotline. Is the first chapter of this manga.
I mean, yeah,
but I like that it established a lot of stuff in the beginning, like
it did.
The fact that like that group, they are like a close knit group of friends that they do all appreciate and respect each other, and then the stakes are all set up, and then after that it's sort of like, all right, now we're gonna have fun. But like up until that moment, it was like we're fighting a dragon and we're all dying, and he's like just laying there like this is it, and then a couple chapters later they're like, oh, we're gonna eat a scorpion.
yeah, dude. I don't know. My general thoughts were that it got so many good reviews on Amazon when I looked it up because I wanted to buy it, and I'd heard nothing but good things about it. I don't know what it was, but the first chapter didn't really get me. I love Dungeons and Dragons. I have a D20 tattooed on my arm, for God's sakes. I love it. I grew up playing it. Huge Dungeons and Dragons fan. Huge fan of food, cooking. Love it. But the two didn't go well together for me. I don't know why.
It was the length of the first chapter.
It might have been.
It's definitely it. Because I stopped myself at the end and I was like, woo! I wiped sweat off my brow. I was like, that was a fucking mission. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see how many chapters or pages are in the next chapter. It's only 25. And as I was reading, I was like, yeah, I like this.
Okay.
That's how I felt.
Every chapter after that is an easily digestible little story where they fight a monster, and then like the whole thing about eating them, it gave it like a really nice like realism to it, of where they explain like, yeah, so if there is a giant like scorpion, that means it has to be eating something. That means those things have to be eating stuff. So in any world where these exist, there's an entire ecosystem we can easily feed off of.
Yes.
Dude, I feel like that's always an issue of like, there's just a giant ogre in that cave. What was it doing?
Right.
But this is like, oh, there's that giant ogre. That means it was eating small goats. Those goats were eating these grasses. So we that's enough ingredients there to make a dish.
Yeah. No, you're right. And I do think you're also right that it was the length of the first chapter, because the art style I was obsessed with. Everything about it really I enjoyed. I enjoy fantasy settings. I enjoy D&D. I love all of it. I love, like I said, cooking. It was the length, and it was maybe the humor. It just didn't feel like it was landing as much as I thought it would.
I agree.
It's not funny, but it is humorous.
I think that's a perfect way to say it.
And in the second chapter, I would argue that there are some moments with the elf and I don't know what he is, a knight or
like a fighter, or
like
something.
a fighter knight.
Yeah.
His like back and forth with the elf because she doesn't want to eat any of this shit and she doesn't like eating the monsters, and just that dynamic with her just like not wanting to do any of it and them being all gung-ho about it. It's very funny. Like the second chapter really like sold me on the humor because there's some moments that are really good. And
I do want to say, take my opinion with a grain of salt, because I again only read one chapter and everybody seems to think this manga is pretty great. So I do plan on continuing to read, especially knowing that the chapters are cut literally in half going forward. So take
smaller portions,
grain of salt. I tried to do like maybe season, like a little seasoning reference.
See, when I found out, when you were like, we were talking about Dungeon, I wasn't going to do it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I was like, we're on a roll.
I had a bad taste in my mouth.
Oh.
No, okay.
Wow.
I'm not necessarily like the biggest fan of RPG style. Okay. Like, There are a couple I like, like
direct
Seven
diss to
Deadly. Sorry, no, I do like like fantasy. Like I like Seven Deadly Sins. I like How to Pick Up Girls in a Dungeon. I like Goblin Slayer, of course.
Okay.
Oh, I love Goblin Slayer. No, I fucking love it.
I fucking
Oh
love
my
it.
God.
You don't even know.
You don't even know how much I love Goblin Slayer.
My God.
But I watched, that time I got reincarnated as a slime or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. I don't know if you would like that, but it's another fantasy.
It's that kind of style. I don't really reach for that or like watch that. I don't go out of my way to watch those types of things. I mean, I don't know. It's just there's other things to watch, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But reading this, I really enjoyed it. I think it's the slice of life style of it, and also like the detail, like I said, of all of the food. And like Cody was saying, there's just so much detail that makes the world that they're in like so much more enjoyable. And like, I don't know, it's not over exaggerated. It's not like we have to defeat this like, I don't know. You feel me?
They also say
Yeah, no.
they have defeated dragons before.
Yeah.
It was just circumstances where it was because they didn't have enough food.
Oh, yeah.
That's the entire reason they got into that issue.
Yeah, people are like, dragons are untouchable. I'm like, there's no way that like a group would not be able to kill.
Because it's just
Like,
a giant lizard.
it's just
Yeah.
they're just animals. That's the whole thing. Is they're just monsters like that can be easily killed. And I like the point where the way that they are cutting them or prepping them. They're like, oh, maybe next time I can kill this mushroom like this instead of
Horizontally
this.
instead of vertically.
Yeah,
or vice versa.
yeah, and I love that. That was a detail that I absolutely was just like insane for.
And that's another thing. I do think that is a real world thing. That there's a right way to kill an animal if you're into that sort of thing, and there's a wrong way to.
Dude, we
do
just ate a bunch of chicken. You can't act like this.
it. I mean, you guys ate a bunch.
Yeah,
of chicken.
you can't act like you ate a 4-box.
We ordered the same thing.
We all
We did.
ate this. You got double fries, so I don't know who
Okay,
the
well,
real
that's not
villain
me.
is here, huh?
Yeah, that's
You know that produce is also not cruelty free. There's field workers out there
Oh, all-
busting their ass.
Oh, all the
Yeah.
potatoes
get
they
you
keep
your-
locked up.
Yeah.
the
Yes.
Irishman.
I don't think they have
That's
Irishmen
not that
doing
movie's
that
not
anymore.
about potatoes. Or
Hmm? I didn't see that movie.
That movie's not about.
Okay. Well,
Potatoes.
I mean, yeah, I'm look. This reminded me of video games, so we're gonna do this.
Okay.
There's the part where they're fleeing from a mushroom.
Yes.
There's a part in Dark Souls where it's like when you hit you basically get to the halfway point, and there's this forest, and that's a lot of when PvP happens and new players kind of get killed a lot because you have to fight through waves of other players that are there just to kill new players.
Okay.
And in that area, it's just full of mushroom men, and they look really dumb and goofy. But if you let them get close to you, they will punch you, and you will get punched across a couple of feet, and then usually die in one hit.
Oh shit.
So you're telling me those mush pack a punch?
Yes, they do, but I'm not sure why you said it that way.
Those mush. Don't be careful for the push from a mush. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll cut that part.
Yeah.
Please.
Cut that part. I'm gonna. Ooh, too much vitamin D today. I feel like.
Yeah, that was a load of shiitake.
Oh, that's a mushroom joke. That's a good mushroom joke.
Hey, I'm a fun guy.
Okay, and we're back.
And we're back.
We're back.
I'm a fun gal. I'm back.
You want-
And you're back to where you were.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know.
So yeah. So in the game Dark Souls, they punch you and they almost kill you, or they do kill you.
But you kill the baby. That's the thing is you find little baby mushroom men and you're just killing them. They give you a very cool reward, a very rare item. Otherwise they're oh, this is so fun. But then their parents show up.
Yeah,
and
of course.
And
You're
those
killing
are the things that will just kill you immediately.
children. You're
Yeah.
killing their offspring.
Yeah, but they're mushrooms.
yeah, and we'll get into that. Cody doesn't really have respect for all life. Let's just say that. There's some species that he's eager to kill. Let's just say that. And we'll get into that in the beach segment of the episode. Okay. Favorite and least favorite things. I want to just say one of my favorite things was obviously, having only read one chapter, the way that they showcase the meals and what's in them. And like you said, the diagram that they give you telling you how much is protein and how much energy or whatever you'll get from eating this meal. That was one of my absolute favorite things. I can't really say I've ever read a cooking manga or watched a cooking anime. I tried watching Food Wars. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about, but I assume it's Food Wars because that's like the most popular.
Yeah. And I watched it because it was the most popular, and I couldn't get through the first episode. I was just out.
I haven't even tried. I just know what I've heard, and I know what I've seen clips of, and I'm like, I don't think I would necessarily enjoy this.
Yeah, it was like a hard out for me immediately, and I don't know. I don't know what it was. It could have been a lot of things, but with this, I really enjoyed the way they broke down the meals, the ingredients, and the nutritional facts. I'd never really seen that done before. My least favorite part was probably just that if they're going to cook, I wanted them to cook more. If they're going to save their, guild member or party member, they should have done more of that. I just felt like it was very stale, the first chapter. And it was a long first chapter, so I wanted more to happen. They didn't even get to the cooking until the last, the tail end of the chapter. It was a lot of meandering. It was a lot of explaining their situation, but in a not very interesting...
A lot of sizzle and no...
What's that? You finished that. What's the end of that?
All sizzle and no steak?
We'll go.
Fajita?
No, it's
that's it. It's fajita.
Yeah, it's fajita.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Mehgan.
All sizzle and no substance? I don't...
I forget.
It's all sizzle and then no something.
Yeah. It is a very popular saying, but I can't remember...
All sizzle, no fajita.
All sizzle, no fajita. Well, that'll be the placeholder.
Yeah.
From now on, actually.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I just wish they would have got to whatever they were getting to sooner. I know this is probably a great story once it gets cooking. But as for right now, I just thought it was too slow to start. So that was my least favorite thing. Too slow. And favorite thing was the way they showed the meals. What were some of your favorite and least favorite parts?
I mean, I pretty much went over them. I mean, honestly, the standalone thing for me would be the art style, in general. I was very pleased reading it. It was very easy to read because it was so awesome. And the characters, like Cody said, all of them are like, yeah, we've seen them before, but they're done in a way where it doesn't bug me that they kind of look basic. They all just have so much personality, I feel like, in their faces and the way they talk and the dialogue. Like, it doesn't bug me that they just look like an elf and a dwarf and
super generic.
Yeah, super generic, but done very well. And I like how their reactions are very funny, and then they point to a tree and it's super detailed, and all the monsters are really cool looking, which I really enjoyed.
I do agree with that.
Yeah, I like the art style a lot. I really can't find anything I dislike other than, I guess, the length of the first chapter. I mean, it's kind of granted, like Cody said, because it is they have a lot of ground to cover, and it kind of ramps you up to the cooking at the end, which I kind of liked. Again, It's not a dislike. I don't really have anything that I could pinpoint that I didn't really, really like, because I enjoyed it.
Yeah, it sounds like the biggest problem we all have with it is the length of the first chapter.
And I don't know how fair that is.
It's exactly.
I mean, a lot of manga do that because they.
You're right.
The first chapter is always the longest one.
You're right. And having done this podcast as long as we have, I've definitely noticed that.
Yeah.
But I just felt it this time.
Exactly. And that's the difference. That is the difference between a long first chapter where you're kind of just jamming through it and you don't even notice that it's that long, instead of this where you kind of felt the lag towards okay, let's get going. It was cool, but you're just okay, I felt that, and then I just had to stop myself because I was only going to read the first chapter, and then I was you know what, I like them well enough to continue, and then I did.
What were your least favorite things?
I liked the way the story is set up, as far as the reason people are going through these dungeons is they found an old man that said, I'm actually a king, and if you can find my city, you own it, and then he died. And there's even a lot of them are we don't even know if that's true or not, but what else are we doing? So that's the reason everyone's there, but the focus of the plot is actually going to go get his sister.
Right.
So there's this general overarching plot, but then the real thing is this, and then they establish that we have resurrection spells, and if you get swallowed by a dragon whole, you have pretty good odds of making it out after a long enough time. But also, the team leaves because, like, we're not doing that again. We quit, and then they have to deal with the fact that, okay, we have money issues, we have this, how are we going to do this?
Yeah, and they also say, like, I don't know if someone can be saved through excrement or something like that.
Yeah, has anyone ever been resurrected after being turned into dragon poop?
Yeah. And
maybe they can cook that.
Maybe they could cook dragon
Oh,
shit.
yeah, they did mention, they were like, oh, he's like, I want to eat the dragon. That sounds delicious. Make it into steaks. And they're like, wait. And they, like, add together, like, the sisters and the dragon.
That was funny.
It eats the sister.
Can we even do that?
Yeah. That was funny.
That was a good button.
So what was your least favorite thing then, Cody? Or one of your least favorite things? It could be nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the story started to dip a little because I think it became a little too focused on the idea of here's how we could eat something in a dungeon.
Right.
Where I was kind of like, I would like a little more characterization or story progression.
Yeah.
It like in the middle, it became like, this is just, we're just gonna cook something.
Absolutely. And when Mehgan said that the characters felt very generic, I felt like the main character are the meals, right? The main character isn't necessarily the characters, it's the meals. So maybe that's why it felt
all steak
like
and no sizzle.
All steak and no sizzle. Maybe that's the title of the episode.
Well, I don't know if that would imply
I like the fajita.
I like the fajitas thing too.
All sizzle, no fajita.
All sizzle, no fajita.
Okay, we'll stick with that.
All right.
I'm sorry, you were talking.
No. Yeah, the main course is the meal, not the characters. And that's why at times when you spend a lot of time with the characters, it can feel very bland, very dry.
They're snacks.
They're snacks. And I wouldn't even say snacks. I would say snacks. They're not appetizers, but they're snacks.
They're snacks.
They're peanuts,
give them a little more credit.
Chips and salsa.
Maybe guac?
Okay, they're guac.
Yeah.
They're guac.
Yeah.
But go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. You said that was maybe one of your least favorite things.
Yeah.
Yeah, overall, there's not much to dislike about it.
It is so hard for me to I really can't pinpoint anything.
It's the issues are whenever something doesn't connect that like the issues are like, here's things that I would want in it, but then again, like, that's not really the point of it. So
it's not fair to say.
Yeah.
Like, I want this, and it's like, but I'm giving you this.
And I think you get characterization from the meals that they make, which I think is the point of it, and it does a good job from that of having, like, the elf, she's, like, very, like, picky into what she wants, and then later on they go get a meal just for her, which involves fighting
cool.
like like plant monsters. And at one point she gets tied up by a vine monster, and it's not sexualized. You don't get a panty shot. She gets tied up, and then they're like, okay, well, here's how you get loose. And then they're like, okay, we're gonna cook that. We're gonna cook that with herbs. It's like they make like a pie.
But the main character does go like, oh, they have to put just the right amount of pressure. Like, it's not trying to kill you. It's just trying to capture you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's lightly doing it. So it must have felt pretty good. And then this is her face. Like, when he's saying that, she's just looking at him like, he's like, right, it felt good. And she's just looking at him like, shut the fuck up.
Can you imitate that face?
Yeah, do your best imitation.
It's not very good.
I mean,
yeah, like Mehgan, when you got wrapped up by that vine monster, it must have felt pretty good, right? Yeah, that's maybe better.
Okay.
That's better.
Seen?
Cody's looks more like...
Cody's is more like...
Just like...
What?
Yeah, very irritated. Not a good face.
You're like, get off my lawn.
Yeah, not a good face, dude. Old, yeah,
it's
very old.
You're like, you damn kids. I would have
you're
gotten
right.
away
Sharp,
with it, too,
very
if it
sharp.
weren't for you meddling kids.
I am tired of meddling kids. Can we talk about the anyway?
State of the youth. So, okay, let's ask some questions to Cody because he finished more than we finished, or he read more than we read.
From what you read in the first volume, they have yet to get to the dragon, or...
Yeah, did they get to the
did
dragon?
they get to the dragon?
I mean, this will be spoilers, right?
I guess that question is a spoiler. But again, like Mehgan mentioned before we started recording, this is a fun, light story. So I don't think there's much to spoil,
Yeah,
but you said there was.
Yeah, but just to be safe,
You're right.
we should receive some sort of spoiler notification.
You're right.
Zoe.
And I recall, and correct me if I'm wrong.
Fine.
someone was going to come up with a new spoiler sound because they weren't happy with the one that they initially came up with.
It's spoiler time.
I
like it.
You like it? Did you guys fucking like that?
I fucking
I
liked
know
it.
that you didn't like doing it, but I really liked it.
I fucking
Oh.
loved
I think it fit the
cool.
podcast. It fit
Nice.
you.
it. It made me happy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
I liked it too.
Okay. Okay, what's the
I
problem?
just didn't want to yell
no, they don't get to the dragon. They fight.
all that.
They fight living armor.
Okay.
Which they do a lot of clever things with that, and it's they set up that the character was almost killed by living armor, so there's this whole thing, and he's also like, because they talk about early on that he was like, you know, we could eat monsters to survive, and they're like, it feels like you want to eat them.
Yeah, they did say that in the
No.
first chapter. Yeah.
and he
No.
blushes and he goes,
And he's like, I want to eat living armor, and they're like, but it's armor that's been like magically enchanted. He's like, I know, but it's something I always wanted to do, and he's like terrified of living armor.
it's metal.
So do they?
They do something really clever with it, and
That's cool.
it fits like it, again. It's a part of like having this be like a real thing as a part of the world, which is it brought up my enjoyment of the series a lot with how they ended that the volume.
Do you remember? So that was at the very end of the
The
volume.
last 2 chapters were dealing with the living armor,
Okay.
and I actually, because by then I was actually like, how are they gonna eat this thing? And they're like, oh, look at this over here. I'm like, wait a minute, you crazy son of a bitch.
You got a twinkle in your eye.
And then they're like, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm like, enlighten me, bro.
Yeah.
How are you gonna eat this thing? And by the end, I'm like, you did it. You fucking did it, man.
Oh, that's so funny.
I really enjoyed that part.
Damn.
Like that brought up my opinion of it by 1 star.
Wow.
Wow,
And
it must
he
be-
was worried about not liking it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You. Were,
I might have enjoyed this more than you guys. And my unnamed foe,
Aw.
Right.
this is my revenge. Is my unnamed
You're
foe.
such a
Turns
tsundere.
out you recommended something that I like, so take that. You.
Yeah. Get him, Cody. Or. Yeah, Cody is a little bit of a tsundere, huh?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
So I kind of like you or anything, but do you want to go to the junkyard with me later?
Do you guys want to go to the junkyard?
No, never.
No, we wouldn't be caught dead in a junkyard with you. Me and Mehgan might.
We
go
might
there,
get caught. We might die if we go to the junkyard.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
might be
I
caught
found cool
dead.
things. I found drugs. I found a vape pen.
Yeah, it's cool.
That's really cool.
because it's
How
stuff
does
that people died with.
You know, sometimes you say my stories get kind of dark.
Well, I mean, I didn't die.
Dance your story.
Dance your story. True. Yeah, you
Oh.
didn't die. And Cody,
Water.
for the listeners, is doing.
Earth,
Yeah,
air,
he's bending right now.
fire.
Middle finger.
Cody can
Cody.
save us all.
Cody can save us all from having mediocre cars, I guess.
Get leather couches. Get leather upholstery at a scrapyard. Costs you like $80.
Shout out to the
Hey,
scrapyard.
Cody, I'll bet there's one listener that cares.
Dude, let's share notes, man.
Hit me up, dog. DM me, bro.
Share me the locations. Like,
On
give
the
me some new
seats are really hard
scrapyards.
because you have to cut the airbag out, and that's. But it's also why there's plenty of them.
I sincerely hope there's one person that gives a fuck about what you're talking about right now. Otherwise, you're just wasting everybody's time. Cody? I can't tell if he's sunburnt or crying right now.
That fuck was so powerful.
Yeah.
You were
I
like,
felt it too. I was like, ah, as it came out of me. Yeah, I'm convinced it wasn't even me who said it. It was an ethereal being.
it was the ghost of the scrapyard.
It was the ghost of the scrapyard.
Ooh, that was
Okay,
good.
What else do you want to know about the porn?
Are there any junkyards in the dungeon?
No.
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 Okay, what do I want to know?
What do you what do you want to know, or what do you feel like you're missing from this?
More character development, I guess. But
What-
you're right in saying that they do develop character through meals. And I think that's what it is centered around, the meals. And that's what it's always set out to do. It's not trying to do something different. It's trying to do that. And it's doing that well. I just wasn't expecting that or necessarily was like super into it. I was into it, but not super into it.
There's a fun thing where their scout, the Hobbit character, and like how he's the one in charge of like finding traps. And in RPG, you know, that's a skill check. But in this one, he's like very careful and diligent. And he's like, okay, you have to follow exactly what I do. And then he's constantly risking being the first one to get killed by a trap. And they set up that like, yeah, at this point, do not talk to him. He is under a lot of pressure right now. And the dwarf is just like, I don't care. But then like it almost gets him killed. And they have like a conversation about like, look, I get that you don't care, but this is actually serious. You can't just act like this.
So it's obviously a D&D inspired story. Are there D&D elements like stats and skills and stuff that are very prevalent throughout the series?
I think the only thing they give stats to is the food.
Yeah.
Everything else, it's the real version of the D&D elements. Like the guy in charge of detecting traps is actually like feeling walls and stuff. And it's like, oh, it's a treasure chest, but I think by this design, I think it might be a trap chest. And he like opens it slightly and like he like has to disarm it, and it's like very tense for him.
Do some of their skills give them any other skills cooking when cooking?
For example, that he disarms a flamethrower trap, and the dwarf was like, hey, couldn't we use this to make some like stir fry, I think.
I like it. I do like it. I just couldn't get through the first chapter. I should have kept going.
Yeah. And then that, you know, and then the dwarf shows the Hobbit like, oh, here's how to cook this meal, and he's like, all right, bro, tell you what, I'll help you. I'll teach you how to disarm traps, and then since you cooked me a meal. So they have like this argument dynamic, and then by the end of it, it's resolved after sharing a meal together. And it's just like, it's very comfy. It's a very comfy story.
Yeah, I like it. Every time you mention a new element of the story, I fall more in love with it. And I knew I would, but man, I can't say it enough. I know I've said it like 20 times in this one episode, but first chapter was rough.
Yeah, I get that, especially if you were reading it at the beach.
Yeah, not in like the ocean and not like enjoying the beach like you said you would.
I'm a beach guy now.
You're a bitch guy now.
Hell yeah.
Oh, wow.
Does it feel too good, huh now?
Oh.
Huh now?
Oh, now. I don't feel too good now.
Oh, now.
I do want to explain to you guys like what that living armor thing is, because I think that'll like
can you
like how clever it is. But like if you guys have any questions beyond
No, I'm set.
Yeah.
So living armor, they're like, oh, that's magically animated armor. But then like he's fighting one, and he notices there's like an egg on it. It's like, did something lay an egg on this armor, or what? And he like is like, because every time you see like animated armor, it puts the helmet back on, and he's like, why would it bother doing that if it's just magically a thing? Like it doesn't need the helmet to see, so there must be some reason for that. So he like he takes apart the living armor and he like starts opening it up, and he sees like there's something in here, and it's like alive. And he peels it back, and it's like a mollusk type thing, and he's like, we all just assumed it was magically animated, but then that wouldn't explain how come, like, who's doing this, because no one's animating this, but we all just assume this is a magically animated armor, and it's like a mollusk in a shell, and that's why it puts the helmet back on, because it's like a hive mind, so it reconnects the limbs, so it's like it uses armor like a shell.
Wow.
So
like an oyster.
Yes, and discovering that they cook it like oyster after they all get together and start cracking the shell open.
I like it.
Okay. And he defeats this enemy that he's always been afraid of, and he's like, I've made a groundbreaking discovery. Once we go back, like this will be like important to know.
God damn it.
And here's the final thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's fighting it, and it actually is tense because there's a lot of emotion behind it, and like he goes to block its sword with his sword, and it shatters it. It's like, I need a new sword, that will just take its sword. And he takes it, and he has this moment where he's like appreciate, like, he doesn't eat the egg. He's like, I hope that egg grows up to be another living armor, like still appreciating life. And they have this whole thing of only eat what you're gonna eat.
Really?
Never kill more than you'll eat. Never take more than you'll eat. There's a thing about like not eating out of revenge or like eating for the sake of it. They do eat when they're hungry, and they don't let anything go to waste. So he has this moment of like, I'm not going to kill this egg. I'll let it be. They are just protecting their eggs.
Right.
And he picks up the sword, but little eye stalks come out of it. Because that sword is also...
Oh.
And they're like, and he doesn't tell anyone, but little do they know, another member has joined their party.
Oh, that's really cool.
That's cute.
And that's how it ends.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's a very, it's a very interesting thing that happens to this character. I was kind of stopped caring, but once it hit that, plot line, I really liked it.
Damn, dude. Yeah, it does seem unique. It does seem super, super unique.
And creative.
It's
so creative, and it's, refreshing. It's so, it's a mix between so many different things, and everything's done perfectly.
Yeah,
from
what I keep hearing, it's done exceptionally well.
Yeah.
So what are some of your final thoughts or any last things you want to say about it before we get to rating it? Anything else you want to add, Cody?
Not really. I've said all I've needed to say.
I think the final few chapters, if you don't like it by then, fine, you're not going to like it, but I think if you're having doubts about it, just finish the volume, and then it got me really hyped about it, and I really want an anime to watch. I want to finish the manga.
Cosplay group?
Incredible.
I would and I like the character designs. Yeah, with the knight, but his armor is it's sensible. Everyone's armor is sensible. It's just nice touches.
Yeah, dude. I'm really surprised at how much you enjoyed this. I really did not expect you to like it, and neither did your foe,
my ancient foe.
Your ancient, as old as time foe. But yeah, dude. Obviously, you're gonna give it a high rating then.
Mm-hmm.
What are you gonna give it?
I will give it 4.5 servings.
Okay. Yeah, 4.5 servings. That's a really high rating for Cody too.
Yeah.
That's great.
Just out of the gate, not him just being like, oh, I guess I'll take whatever you guys get.
Yeah.
You know? No, honestly, I agree. 4.5 hot pots.
Ooh.
I mean, 4.5 out of 5 hot pots. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think our dynamic this episode and the amounts that we've all read are a good representation of how you'll feel as you read the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's something that you have any slight interest in, I think it goes without saying that by the end of it, you'll be convinced and you'll have fallen for it.
Yeah, the 0.5 is because of in the middle, I stopped caring at a certain point. But, I mean, the way it ends is amazing.
Wow. Well, you heard it here first. Cody's dropping 4.5s. Dungeon Meshi. Delicious Dungeon.
It was truly delicious.
It was truly delicious.
Do I have to give it a 5?
Imagine he's just like, wait, I don't like it at all.
No, but even what he's about to do right now is a little shocking. He's like, stop everything.
I just gave it a 4.5 out of 5 just because of what I've read so far. But you've read the full volume, and you said you really liked the ending.
Tell you what, I'm going to give it a 4.9.
Okay.
Okay.
That's how we'll compromise.
If I was Cody, I'd be like, okay, I'm not going to do another impression of you. But
please do it.
4.9 is fine. No.
4.9.
My dad said I can't do the podcast anymore.
Yeah, we met Mehgan's parents today, IRL, and that's another story we're going to get to. Very interesting story. But that's a great rating, and I have to agree. I do feel like if I would have continued to read, I would have inevitably fallen in love with it. And if you enjoy any of those things, Dungeons and Dragons, cooking, heartfelt stories, cute, comfortable stories, then it goes, I guess, without saying that we highly recommend Dungeon Meshi. And because Dungeon Meshi is a story where they cook monsters, and because I do enjoy D&D, I have brought with me today the Dungeons and Dragons Monster Manual. I believe this is 5th edition, yeah. And
cool.
That's the good one.
That's the good one. And it was Cody's idea, which is a great idea, to pick a random page out of this monster manual, select a monster on the page that we pick, because there's multiple monsters each page, and describe how we would prepare that monster. So, who wants to go first?
Rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, Cody wins, so Cody chooses or goes first?
I mean, I guess I'll go first.
Okay.
We didn't really establish
We didn't say what the stakes were.
No, it's okay.
Okay, Cody's random page has 3 monsters on it.
A Gorgon.
So, out of the 3, which one looks the most delicious to you?
Okay, so there's an iron. Oh, I got rock based ones. So I think within the reality of Dungeon Meshi, that would just be armor. I think that's
okay. Are they all
Yeah, you
rock based
can't
ones?
really-
Yeah, there's a iron golem, a stone golem, and a Gorgon. So I would assume the Gorgon would be like a heavily armored bull.
Is there a scenario in which you could maybe use the rocks as some sort of like
Charcoal
or something?
Well, like for example, like if this was like living armor, it would be that there's something in here that's animating it.
Okay.
That's also why it's called living armor. So it's like it's alive. I thought that was a nice thing. Of like, oh, of course.
That does make a lot more sense.
It's not
now.
called animated armor. It's called living armor.
Huh. It's right in the name.
Right there.
Right in front of us the whole time.
One guy, he came up with the name and was like, I guess it's magic. I don't know.
He's like, I guess nobody gets it. I named it exactly what it is. Do you want to pick another page then? Why not?
Okay, a kraken.
Oh, good one.
I mean, yeah, that's
You got to cook it like you'd cook
calamari.
calamari.
Yeah,
Yeah,
calamad. Calamad.
Yeah.
What is it? You fry it, powder it.
Yeah. Can you imagine cooking kraken meat?
Yeah, it'd be huge.
I mean, it would be huge.
That'd be
It
something
would be for an army.
It would I tell you what, it'd make any festival pretty cracking.
Oh, it'd be kraken.
Kraken. Yeah, I forgot to do the pun part of
Yeah.
that.
Your version was.
I think
not good.
this would be something where like they have like a summer festival,
Mhm.
and then they catch a kraken and then they serve it to the entire city.
Yeah, definitely. Which is also, I just recently watched that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and there's a few small scenes where they kill monsters and they cook them and they serve them, and they're giant spiders or giant monsters that they can feed. They boil them in hot pots and they feed them to the whole town and stuff. So it's pretty cool. I think a kraken
cool.
would be similar.
Definitely.
I mean, I don't even think these things are poisonous, are they?
I don't know. I don't know much about krakens.
it gets 2 pages
Well,
worth.
yeah, they can cast lightning, so that would mean I guess you'd have to like cut that part out. That'd be the equivalent of its poison sac. It's like you have to get rid of whatever lightning organ it has, like an eel, like an electric eel.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and everyone loves eel. I don't, but I mean they eat them.
Yeah, people eat them gross.
Very unique flavor,
All seafood.
and
gross.
anything that's different is
Oh,
bad.
you don't like any seafood?
Hard out. All seafood.
Wow.
Okay, well with that as your segue, why don't you go ahead and open up a page?
All right. Yeah, just me and seafood do not get along. My page is wow.
Oh.
So right now, it's a Periton or a Pegasus, but I'm gonna choose Pegasus. I'm gonna cook that horse
Oh
meat.
my
dude.
God! How did I know?
I'm gonna cook that horse meat. Now here's what I'm gonna do.
Taboo.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's what I'm gonna do. You heard of chicken wings, right?
Yes.
Have you heard of Pegasus wings? Yeah, we got Pegasus wings over at my barbecue.
Mm.
And we're dousing them in some buffalo sauce. We're taking that mythical creature, tossing it in buffalo. So get ready, because those are some giant ass wings.
Hell yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah, and I haven't even got to the horse meat yet.
No. So
Mm.
I know that you take feathers off of.
Right.
So you.
Oh, and I'm using all those feathers as quills to invite my fucking guests to the party. Yeah, I'm using every part of the animal per a la carte Dungeon Meshi. That was a stretch, but we got there.
Good.
Yeah, and that horse meat. Let me tell you what I'm doing with that horse meat. I'm probably, I mean, obviously I don't condone eating horses in real life.
You don't condone horses?
Eating horses.
Okay.
Eating horses in
He
real life. I
doesn't
condone
condone that.
Obviously, I don't condone the
No.
existence
of
of horses.
horses. They're fucking ridiculous.
They're not real.
Yeah. But I would say, I don't know, something about a horse just reads jerky to me for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know why.
Because they're lean.
So would you serve the wings and the horse separate, or would you
Well,
make them a similar dish?
That's another reason I say jerky, because I feel like wings and jerky would kind of go together.
Oh, okay.
You know, so you got some Pegasus jerky and buffalo Pegasus wings.
God damn, the meat on those wings is gonna be so like tender, and like so much like the muscle you need for wings to lift a horse.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's gonna be so strong. That's
Wow.
like you talk about salmon having a lot of muscle. Like the wings on that.
Yeah, I'm probably. Oh man, and I'm gonna serve it as one giant wing too.
The whole wing?
But you can. It's gonna be like.
Oh,
you can,
it's like segment, but like one of the wings is like.
Yeah, it's like it's ornate, like it takes up the whole table, but you can like serve yourself.
Dude, that would be amazing.
Like
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, you'd have like no more turkey. We're getting that Pegasus wing.
We're getting
And
that
Pegasus
Pegasus
wings
Yeah.
and some horse jerky if you want some.
and some horse jerky, and then I'll use the horseshoes. We could play games at the barbecue or whatever. You know, so I'm using every part of the animal, and that's just if you come to, Josh's
That was
fantasy barbecue, you can have you
Fantasy.
some good Pegasus.
Oh gosh.
some good Pegasus meat.
Okay. Hopefully I get a good one, a tasty one.
Let's see. I'm curious as to how
Bra.
Mehgan, who says she can't cook, will prepare.
Ooh, I got
What'd
an
you get?
ogre and a oni.
They had a rule in the manga that no humanoids. If you want, that could give you like a
Okay, yeah.
retry.
Sure.
There we go.
I got a bronze dragon.
Let me see the picture. Okay, a bronze dragon looks.
Perfect. So, I mean, they already kind of said it in the manga. They were like, oh, steaks or something of that nature. It's a lot of meat, so you definitely have to think of something to do. Let's see. Dragon
Maybe-
meat.
yeah,
No,
you
I want to
can't-
get the scale. I mean, I could cook the scales in it. Like
You fry up a tail.
fry up the tail. I could. Okay, yeah, I'm going to fry up the tail. I'm going to keep some scales on and cook it like a fish.
Mmm.
So the
Oh.
crunchy scales.
Ew.
Well,
Is
you don't
that
like
good?
fish. Oh yeah. Sometimes it depends if it's done right. And even like a fish tail. Have you ever had a fish tail? Have you
No.
ever eaten it? Okay, they're good.
Is that what you
No,
could do with
but-
the fins?
Oh yeah, definitely.
wings?
Definitely,
Oh, the wings
definitely
could
with
be
the
like fish
wings.
tail?
Yeah, crunchy and good.
Oh.
This is all up to debate.
Oh, could you like fry up the membrane and it'd be like pork cracklings?
Could be like chicharrones.
Chicharrones.
Yeah, chicharrones.
Oh, dragon chicharrones.
Dragon
Chicharrones.
I love it.
That's amazing.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, the meat, without saying, it would be a lot. So we'd have to figure out maybe like a carne,
Some carne.
some asada. I don't know.
Obviously, it'd be spicy.
Oh,
right?
spice max.
in memoriam of
Maybe
the beast.
a curry dragon dish.
Oh. Okay.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe you'd serve it up to like they serve up those fish at Mexican restaurants where they just keep the head and eyes.
yeah,
and
that
everything.
it would be full head,
Oh,
full
dragon
eyes.
head.
I
Dragon head.
don't. Let's see if they have any poison or.
Oh, I should have looked and see to see if they had any sort of.
Mm,
I think they're fine.
I don't think Pegasuses have poison.
Well, I mean, if they had anything out of the ordinary.
they have
Oh,
lightning.
Well, they're
Lightning breath. It's a
Huh.
medium dragon, so I don't know how big it
you're
is.
serving
going
it
to
up
be.
medium rare.
They feed
Yes.
primarily on aquatic plants and fish, so that's perfect.
Oh.
They take forms of friendly animals to observe other creatures in interest. The ribbed and fluttered crest defines the shape of a bronze dragon's head. Yeah, so they have a lot of ridges. They got horns that you probably don't really need necessarily. You can use for other things.
Maybe
but
you can take the
not to
horns.
eat.
If you ever been to a medieval times, or not a medieval times, but a Renaissance fair,
Oh
and you
yeah,
can drink your ale out of the horn.
yeah, definitely.
Maybe even a wine to go with the meat,
Oh,
the
yeah.
dragon meat.
It'd be called
Yeah.
like dragon ale.
This is all great. That's what I would cook with
and
mine.
it'd be like beer because it's bronze.
Oh, it'd be a blonde.
Yes.
a
blonde?
blonde ale.
What? We're chefs. We're chefs. We're culinary experts.
I don't think the dragon would be too hoppy.
Okay,
There we go.
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
I honestly think the Dungeon Meshi crew better watch their backs.
Oh.
Because we're coming for them.
We're coming.
We're coming for
The
'em.
spoilers are coming.
The spoilers are coming. Dude, we should open up our own fantasy restaurant. I think we should do
Dude, that honestly would be fun where it's like
legitimately.
you serve up this, but it's like you serve up calamari, but you say it's like Kraken.
Kraken.
Yeah, and you dress it up in a way that like makes it look like exotic, and you say like, oh, the herbs are this.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
That would
Does
be,
it kind of do that at, like Harry Potter world?
I don't know.
Yeah, but
Not
those
to
guys
the certain
suck.
yeah.
those guys.
Not to
fucking
like
suck.
the extent that we would be talking about.
Yeah, I don't think they have the wide range of mythical creatures at
be
their disposal.
niche.
It would be niche.
The people would come out for that.
A missed opportunity at places like, honestly, the Renaissance Fair. A missed opportunity at like medieval times. Why aren't they doing? Oh, I guess medieval times isn't fantasy. It's just medieval.
And that's what
Yeah.
they're missing. Because hey, medieval times, no one cares about knights fighting anymore. We
yeah,
need-
it's dark. The medieval times were dark.
Yeah,
we
ever
need
heard of-
some dragons
Ever heard
in there
of
to
George
lighten it
R.R.
up.
Martin? We don't care about knights anymore. Okay.
There's a lot in.
Well, yeah, but
There's
like,
a lot in Game of Thrones. That is more fantasy than.
Right, there's like White Walkers.
There's like
and
dragons
and dire wolves. And
Yeah.
yeah, like
that's-
you would get like White Walker nails and you use those as like ice cubes.
ice cubes, ice shavings.
That's
Yeah.
gross.
Ooh,
Well, not the
That would-
not the human ones.
Oh, they have White Walker animals. They
Yeah.
can turn animals into White
Oh.
Walkers.
I was like, human nails. What the fuck? The
Yeah.
White Walker nails.
Yeah, and then Bran will be he'll be like the manager because he can warg into everybody and just how's everything tasting over here? You know. He's just-
I know it's tasting good.
Yeah.
A cool like this is obviously will never happen because of a budget, but they make like like a model of a dragon head and they have like a flamethrower and they have like fake meat and they have it torch
that'd be
that and they're like,
fun.
okay, we're gonna go serve this now, and then they serve up the actual like roast beef or whatever.
Dude, we have like a
we
business on our
have
hands.
an idea.
Okay, now that we just said on the podcast, someone might like be actually able to do it.
Here,
and
how about this,
we
dude?
might
Anybody
fuck ourselves
listening?
Over.
I dare ya.
I
I
dare
dare
ya.
ya.
Yeah, you're not down.
You're not down.
You're not fucking down, fool.
And if you do it, guess what? You got 3 customers right here.
Guess what? We're the first ones in line.
And maybe
we're-
you got 3 investors right here too.
Yeah,
Mm.
I got some. I still got.
Pretty broke.
pretty broke, but we'll be the first in line because we'll be happy that someone else actually took charge.
And I'm pretty hungry. So.
We're kind of busy with the podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get our hands tied
Yeah.
but that is genuinely a great idea.
Oh yeah. It's fun.
Anyway, so look out for the Volume 1 fantasy themed diner opening up soon in a city near you. Okay, that's the review segment of the episode. Now we got to get into some beach shenanigans. We had a beach day
Beach.
today, and I do want to mention that we have like I mentioned earlier in the episode, a beach vlog, a beach episode coming out on the channel. I want to have it out by the time this episode's out. So I'm going to, like I said before, just give myself that. I'm going to
You
say it on the
made it.
podcast so that I have
You
to
did
I have
it.
to meet the deadline and say that it will be out when this episode is out.
Oh gosh. I'm
It'll be fun.
excited. I'm
It'll be
excited
fun.
to see because we were out on the beach, like actually enjoying like the beach and we were
Oh.
in the water.
Mhm.
And Josh was recording himself
Oh, yeah.
saying random
Yeah, I
stuff.
did.
So I'm excited to see that footage
Yeah.
and other things that you might have captured along the way.
Yeah. You know what? There were some things that we didn't capture though. So look out for the beach episode of vlog. We answer some questions like what our favorite beach episodes of anime are. We answer some other questions that have nothing to do with anime, but are still fun questions. But there was a lot of things that we couldn't capture or just didn't get the chance to capture. And so I just thought it'd be fun. We thought it'd be fun if we shared some of those moments. And one of the moments was Cody being scolded by Karen on the beach for murdering, speaking of murdering animals and eating them. Not that you ate them.
Yeah. Goblin Slayer, more like
More like Junebug Slayer.
The giant beetle
Beetle Slayer.
Beetle
harassing each of us.
Yeah, it literally came up to all 3 of us on the beach, and we're like, "Whoa, you know how you do when it's like,
Yeah, like,
It's
oh,
a
God.
You're like,
giant
"Oh,
bug.
oh."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
huge.
trying to get on you.
Herculean.
It's literally trying to get on you. Like they're blind, sure, but those bitches are always in the way.
Are they blind?
Yeah, they are blind.
Oh, wow.
So that's
Makes
probably.
makes
that-
me feel like
Oh, you guys didn't know that they literally
detect
were
with-
blind?
Well, they have like echo. What do they detect with?
I don't fucking know, but they are blind.
Mm.
They can't see shit. That's why they're kind of always like searching for something to land on. It's very funny that you guys didn't know that.
Had
and
no
that's
idea. Feel a
probably
little
why
bad now
that's probably why she was
about-
so upset. But yeah.
It's a bug.
So Cody, walk us through what happened. We're on the beach, reminding our own business, and we're getting attacked by this bug. Cody swats the bug to save us. He's our hero. If
Yeah,
anything.
he literally saves us.
And it's wounded, and I don't want a bug with a score to settle, so I then picked up sand and I threw it on it.
Yeah, you did hard.
Yeah, he really did hard.
And some, bystander. You can guess what race she was.
Oh.
She was white. All right. And I'm half white, so I can
You
say
already
that.
said Karen, so I
Yeah.
think that was implied.
She says what to you, Cody?
Hey, that unnecessary. Not around kids.
Oh, I see. I didn't hear that part, the not around kids part. But she says, hey, that's unnecessary. I didn't hear not around kids part. And then Cody immediately fires back.
You're not my mom.
Right, because if she was your mom, well, if she was Megan's mom, then you'd roast her. And you did roast this woman. Because then she said, I know I'm not your mom, but still. And then you said, call the cops.
So what are you going to do? Call the cops?
What are you gonna
And just
do?
walked away. And I was like, wow. Like if he
Yeah.
had shades, to put on.
Yeah.
It would have been it would have been the
drop
shades
down
come
and
down.
then
You
the-
mad, bro?
yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely the situation.
That was the first of many things at the beach that happened where I realized that people at the beach just need to mind their own damn business.
There's just so many people on the beach, and everyone's looking at you. And this is also funny. So, we brought us like a wagon to the beach,
Yes.
and we had all
Megan's,
of our shit.
transportation.
We had all of our wagon. I sat in it the whole time. We had all of our shit in there, like ice chest, umbrella, chair. And like towards the end of the trip, I'm the one pulling it. I'm like, oh yeah, this is fucking easy. And I'm just pulling it, and I'm actually doing a decent job. Like you guys saw me, like in the beginning, I was really pulling my weight there. Like
Yeah.
I was. You're like, were
Yeah,
we
yeah.
doing it wrong? I was like, you fucking peasants.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I'm walking it, and there's this man is just like, what? That shouldn't be you. It should be one of them. It should be one of these two guys. And I
Yeah.
was like,
And I want to say not even just the man. I felt like
Every
everybody.
single person was judging it like hardcore.
oh yeah, yeah,
I've
Yeah.
never felt so many eyes
on you,
on me.
on you, yeah.
Especially
And it's like we
At the
dragged
beach.
it. We dragged our share. She's dragging it hers. She wanted to.
Yeah, it's not like I was just like, oh, well, I guess I'll carry it.
yeah,
now.
it's not like we're like move
You do it.
faster.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was like, who
no.
wants to do it? Megan was like, I'll do it. And she was
Yeah.
having a way easier time than I was.
Yeah. So
I
then
was struggling for a solid hour dragging
Yeah.
that thing.
I was
everyone
watching.
was staring.
Yeah.
Everyone was staring and just making comments. And it was very funny to me that everyone just, look at the fucking ocean. You're
Yeah,
here for the
You're
ocean.
there to enjoy the
Don't
ocean.
watch people. It's not I mean, it is fun to people watch, but don't comment on what they're doing. That's the thing that bugs the shit out of me. You can stare all you want, but the minute you try to engage a situation, a comment, like, where are we right now? Like,
Yeah, dude, people felt so chatty at this beach.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
they're chatty Cathy's.
It's
They-
like we aren't knights of old escorting a princess. It's her turn to carry the wagon.
Yeah.
How dare you not help this poor woman?
Yeah.
She's struggling.
She's doing better than I was.
I'm like, I got a gun.
There was another woman too, who when you guys were in the ocean, she was walking along the beach and the tide ran up, and people who were sitting in front of their sandals but with their sandals off, their sandals began to wash away.
Ugh.
They are in front of their sandals. They see their sandals, but the tide begins to wash them away. This woman felt the need. Someone's going to lose their sandals. Someone better get their sandals. And then she almost fell, which was instant
good.
karma. But why do you need the need? Why do you feel the need? It's some weird privilege shit, I feel.
I
Like.
think
Dude.
those are the locals. And what they
It's-
do is during their mornings, before they collect their
Ugh.
trust fund money,
Ugh.
is they go down to the beach, and they're like, ugh, it's the common folk.
might be right.
own the beach. Like, bitch, you don't own you own a house, maybe a nice house in Laguna, and like, yeah, we're all jealous, sure, but
But you have shitty parking.
you have shitty parking and you
Really
don't
shitty
own the beach. Like, this is for everyone. And people that like treat it like it's their own thing just piss me off
Yeah.
to no end.
Yeah, if you grew up on a beach, fuck you.
Honestly,
If you're an ass, and unless you're not
Unless
an
you're a
asshole.
cool guy.
Yeah,
Unless
unless
you're
you're
cool,
like
unless you're cool.
California hunga bunga, like, you know, like ready to ride away, brah.
yeah, anywhere, dude. If you're like, if you're bumming it, living that lifestyle anywhere on the globe, props to you.
Props.
But, if you're an asshole, if you're a
Nosy.
sand, I was gonna say, this is bad. I was meaning someone with sand in their crack, like in their ass crack, right? And I was gonna call him a sand cracker.
Okay, that's the best. That's
Oh.
the best option that could have gone
yeah.
down.
Yeah, no, I was a little scared, but that's fine.
Yeah, there was a very
Oh yeah.
You would.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
the safest possible option for where that could have come.
Right. But it still felt a little too aggressive.
No, you can say cracker. It's fine.
But sandcracker, can you say that?
Yes.
Okay.
You're saying it right now. I mean, I'm not gonna say it.
I'll say
yeah. Why
crab or
haven't you guys said it?
'Cause I don't believe in using
seaweed snitch.
Seaweed.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. If you're one of them assholes, then hold up in your beach house, stay there, and leave us common folk alone.
Yeah, and there was like a resort hotel with a swimming pool, and there was just about 30 people just like in the pool looking down at the beach.
Yeah.
Like, chlorine is better.
Yes.
Must
It's
be
so
nice.
nice to be in the water in California.
It's so annoying. But not all of the how do I say it? Not all the fun was had at the beach.
Capture. Well,
Not all of it.
yeah.
There was a lot of it.
Yeah. You just sat. Like I said,
Yeah.
you just sat. You got in it at the end there.
No, I did.
But me and Cody were really roughing it,
Yeah.
like in the waves.
Sneaking White Claws at the beach in
Oh, yeah.
public.
Yeah.
You guys were.
Yeah.
Right. I just want to put on wax that it was not me. I wasn't out. I wasn't at the beach relapsing.
No.
You were drinking water and eating chips.
Yeah, a lot. I ate a lot at the beach. I'm gonna be honest. I was
You were
mostly eating.
re-vlogging.
Yeah, and let me say this: I don't like the beach. I have an aversion to the beach.
Why?
But, I don't know. I just never really have liked it.
It's the feed. Is
it's
it
the
the
sand,
heat?
it's the
the
people,
sand,
it's the- You know.
you being a bitch.
Yeah.
I think it might, in my opinion, I think it's the last thing she said.
In my opinion, actually,
that was real sharp the way you said that.
real shark.
Real shark. But yeah.
Real.
I opened my heart. I opened my heart,
You did.
and I don't want to give anything away. But if you end up watching our vlog, our video, our beach episode, then you'll find out if I really came to love the beach or if I still hate it.
Ooh.
And I'm sure you're deeply invested in that.
And I'm sure everybody listening is on the edge of their seats.
I bet.
But not all the fun was had at the beach. There was another situation.
I wouldn't call it fun.
It was incredible what happened.
I wasn't there. I wasn't even really
Megan
there.
said like, "Oh, we'll drop by my house to get my notebook real quick," and then she proceeds to just be gone for like 10 minutes.
Real quick, yeah, she kept saying, "I just need to get my notebook. I just need to get my notebook."
But then when I got in there, I figured, I might as well change, take a quick shower, get my notebook.
We were not informed of any of this.
And you guys were left in the car with the air running, so I don't know what you
And
guys
she
are
left the window
complaining
crack
about.
open.
Right, so we're in there, and like I said, I ate a lot on the beach, and I don't know.
A lot
really,
of greasy food.
lot of not really good food for me. So I'm sitting in the car, just me and the codester, and yeah, I mean we're just vibing after so much D, so much vitamin.
All the D we were getting.
Yeah, and I feel a little grumble in my stomach. And I says to Cody, I'm not gonna relieve myself in Megan's car, as a courtesy to Megan,
And a courtesy to me.
and a courtesy to you. I'm not gonna make you smell that,
Yeah.
So I do what I think is only polite, which is to step out of the car to flatulate. Because Megan's just going to get her notebook. She'll be back any second. I hop out of the car and immediately start to relieve myself as I hear a gate open and Megan's parents approaching the car. See, now what I had done was I had met Megan's parents for the first time and basically farted on them. And I don't know if one of them will have some sort of pink eye tomorrow.
That's awful.
It was in the air. I'm just saying. It was in the air when they were walking by.
You left ass first.
I left ass first.
Because
I scooted out.
The only purpose was to scoot out just enough to fart and, oh, hello.
It wasn't even smooth. I had to pretend like I was getting out of the car fully. Because I was just ass out farting when they come out. And then I have to pretend like that's how I get out of cars. I have to pretend like that's the normal way to leave a vehicle. So I'm scooting out. Pooting out, scooting out, right?
Oh my god.
And it was the most embarrassing thing ever. It was the most embarrassing thing. The timing is, it's so crazy.
It was unreal.
Yeah.
Like, if it was written down, people were like, this is too much.
Down to a
this
millisecond.
doesn't happen to people.
The moment the first it was like, hey, it was like simultaneous. And it was bad. It was bad. And then, I tried to recover,
But did they hear it?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. That would be even more embarrassing.
But I had to live in it. And Cody knew why I was getting out of the car. And so Cody knew.
Cody, were you laughing?
I was stunned at what was happening right now. He was like, all right, I'm just going to go scoot out and fart. And I was like, is that Mehgan's turn? Oh, no.
They're coming to the.
Yeah. And then, they were very, very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And, they asked us, me and Cody, if we could read. And I said, Cody can't read. And then Megan's dad didn't laugh. And so I had egg on my face and shit in my pants. So
that's the name of your autobiography.
Egg on my face, shit in my pants.
Or shit on the floor.
Shit on the floor, yeah.
That you have to siphon through to get it.
Yeah.
The key to the puzzle.
Yeah.
Oh, to impress your girlfriend.
To impress your girlfriend.
Yeah.
That's the whole title of the book. You said you like long titles to
I
anime,
love
right?
long
There
titles,
you go.
Yeah. Colon.
Have you read the new American comic book? It's called I Shoveled Through Shit to Impress My Girlfriend, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Colon, The Chronicles of Ass Blaster, or something like that. Yeah. And, I made a joke. I said, Cody can't read. And, Megan's dad didn't laugh. And that was really that. But
yeah, and then I was like, yeah, I can. And then he gave me a book.
And then he like loved Cody and talked to Cody about books and, post-apocalyptic future.
He gave me a book that seemed like a really good in-between I was reading Like in Fallout and The Axe of Cain. And this one's it's post-apocalypse involving time travel.
I mean, yeah. So, he didn't give me a book. So, he didn't give me a book.
Maybe you guys can talk about drawing sometime.
I tried.
Yeah. No, nothing.
To no avail.
I think he heard your fart. He's like, why is this man farting on my property?
Yeah, really wish I would have got that on camera. But, you can't predict. You can't predict that.
You can't get them all. You can't get every...
Yeah,
I get every shard.
And then, it's also it's the first time we're meeting your parents, and we're dressed like trash. I mean,
absolute garbage.
Absolute fucking garbage. I had a tank top on, which I never wear tank tops, and it's a white tank top too. Trunks. Horrible. Red face. Still have white all over my face from my sunscreen. And I'm farting.
They knew you.
Imagine that. All of that. Plus farting.
They knew you were coming back from the beach.
And then Mehgan just comes out in a red collar shirt. She's like, ready to go. I thought we were in agreement we were going to be wearing beach clothes.
I thought so too.
I didn't think that was unsaid agreement because I thought I was changing. Sorry.
Well, anyway.
What do you want me to wear?
Your beach clothes.
Your beach clothes.
My tank top and shorts?
You wear that.
I know. That's why it's not.
You dress fancier post beach than you normally do.
Then it's
You're
not
wearing jeans. It's 100 degrees outside.
Okay, I just want to show off.
I mean, I think she's following up the eye
the
patch
style.
episode.
Yeah, I am following up the.
She's following up the eye patch episode.
I was a mess, and
yeah,
I let people down.
And she has to step the game up. That
was Evil Mehgan. So.
Oh, that was Evil Mehgan. So you were finally released from the car.
I am. So I'm back.
Oh, first episode with Mehgan back. Regular Mehgan back.
You guys didn't even notice.
Oh, okay. I feel like she's still evil. She just took the eye patch off.
Oh, if she takes the eye patch off, she's no longer evil, dumbass.
I'm gonna fart on you, Cody.
Oh.
I'm gonna.
Wouldn't be the first time.
Well, it would.
Not for my sources.
Yeah. Anyway, Cody.
Your sources, your fan fiction?
No.
It'd be very funny if that was.
No,
her fan
it's
fiction.
the fans.
Yeah, show me that notebook.
The fans.
Show me that.
Guys,
notebook.
don't.
And it's just cartoons of me farting.
There is those.
Okay.
Not of you, but of other people. It's like a thing. Anyway,
we had a great day today, and I had a great time.
I'll show you some.
I had a great time recording this episode, and I had a great time at the beach, and I hope everybody listening and watching had a great time too. We do need to mention what we're going to be reviewing next week. Next week we're going to be reviewing. Next week's my week, and we're going to be reviewing Magi,
Yes.
Magi, which I'm excited. And there is an anime adaptation of that as well, so I do want to read the first volume in its entirety, and I also want to check out the first maybe 1 or 2, or depending on how much time I have, episodes of the anime. I like to do that. I don't always like reviewing manga that have anime adaptations, but when they do, I do like to watch the anime to see how they compare, how they hold up against each other. Also, that was also another listener recommendation. So if anybody listening has any recommendations, please let us know at Volume 1 Pod on Instagram, Twitter, put it in the comments on YouTube. And I actually didn't know this. I don't want to mention their name because they didn't give us permission to use their name or not. But we actually got an email from somebody when I was going through our emails with a long list of manga that they've read.
Oh.
It was not titled Manga I Recommend. It was Manga I Read. But I assume...
You mean they didn't give you permission?
I gotta want to say their name because their name was in the email.
Oh, so you're just saying they'll know if they're listening.
I'll use the first name.
No, he doesn't want to say the name.
Well, I also don't remember. Right. But if they're listening, I just say that to say thank you.
People could give me when they're like, I don't ask any further questions about this.
Oh yeah, it's this.
Yeah, it's when they.
I see. Continue, Josh.
Oh wow.
Oh okay.
I understand now. You may continue. Of course, you cannot get the name.
Of course.
But if you're listening, you know who you are. That email is full of manga. I hope it means that those are manga that you've read and enjoyed and recommend. So if we need to pull from that list, we will. Thank you for sending that in.
Cool.
If you're listening, you know who you are. And Agretzko Season 3 is coming out on, I think, Wednesday or Thursday. And I want to power through it. I know Mehgan said she's down to power through it.
I'm definitely going to power through it.
And Cody's going to try to power through it, watch a couple episodes.
I'm going to get a VPN, and I'm going to go back to legally watching movies for
hey.
sure. Because AT&T security is way more tight than whatever I had last time. Spectrum?
Yeah, so
Spectrum didn't give a fuck.
Yeah, some internet providers don't.
AT&T was like, I know you watched Bob's Burgers 3 times. Like, okay.
You're like, oh, fuck.
You watched this, you watch it, then you watch it, you pause it, and then you kept watching it. And you knew you weren't supposed to, but you kept doing it, didn't you? I'm like, I'm sorry, AT&T. I didn't think you would notice.
I'm sorry, AT&T, but I kind of like it when you talk to me like that.
Yeah, it's just a computer voice.
Yeah.
You tried to watch Bob's Burgers.
And he's like, oh, stop, don't stop. Anyway. So, yeah. I want to talk about Agretzko next week, but I also want to talk about Magi, and so that should be a fun episode. And I think that's it. I think that's all we wanted to cover in this episode. Let me go over the list real quick just to double check, and that's it. We covered everything.
I know what the goodbye thing should be.
Okay. Well, in that case, thank you guys for listening and watching. Leave a comment. Please subscribe to the channel if you can. It helps us out a lot. I always feel weird asking, but it does take a lot of work to get the episodes up, so it does mean a lot when you subscribe. Hit the bell.
And look, you can subscribe and then ignore us. Just press the subscribe button. That's all that really matters.
If you like us once, why not? What is it?
Pure pity.
Yeah.
Subscribe, click mute, never watch it again. As long as the subscribe button is pressed, it doesn't affect you. You can forget about us. Just click subscribe and then delete your account.
Right.
Change accounts, but and then be like, never look back. But as long as you've clicked subscribe,
yes.
We like pity subs, but we also like submissive subs so that are actually gonna watch. So keep watching.
Yeah, keep watching, and and yeah, as always, and also leave a comment of manga that you want us to read too. But as always, we are going to end on our classic outro that we say every episode and never changes, and that this week is.
It's what is it? Itadaki? What's the one where they say let's eat?
Itadakimasu.
Itadakimasu?
Right?
Itadakimasu, bitches.
Itadakimasu, bitches.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And until next time,
Itadakimasu, bitches.